Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Before we start, I'd just like to thank you all for the support. I wasn't expecting so many viewers, even if it's not much comparatively to bigger channels. It's still just nice to see that so many people enjoy what I make. A couple thousand people is nothing to scoff at. Again, thank you all. On to the video. Neverness to Everness has been revealed. The trailer looks quite good, but it's by Hada Studios. That might ring off alarm bells in people's heads, because Hada is behind Tower of Fantasy, a game that didn't go so well received. I do believe that Tower of Fantasy was a bit overhated since it's still quite fun, but Tower of Fantasy had many issues that just went unaddressed, so Hada needs to step up their game with Neverness to Everness, otherwise it'll just end up in the dirt like Tower of Fantasy. From what the trailer displays, the gameplay in Neverness to Everness doesn't really look all that special. It's just typical action combat gameplay. And while action combat gameplay is fine, there's already 3 major competitors that all have unique attributes to them. When we take a look at Genshin, Wuthering Waves, and Zenless Zone Zero, each of them is very unique with their action combat, with Genshin's reaction systems, Wuthering Waves with its dodge and parry systems, and then Zenless Zone Zero with its chain attacks. If Neverness to Everness doesn't have something unique, and it's just your typical action game, it's not going to manage to do anything special. The next thing I wanted to talk about was the Zenless Zone Zero versus Wuthering Waves drama. There's a bunch of people harassing content creators for simply talking about or playing either of the games, and it's really concerning. People need to realize that people can have different tastes in them, and each game appeals to different audiences. Some people will enjoy Zenless Zone Zero more, and some people will enjoy Wuthering Waves more. I personally like Wuthering Waves more, but I can understand if someone likes Zenless Zone Zero more. Regardless, people just need to know that other people will not always agree with them or have the same tastes. The Genshin racism situation has blown up on Twitter, enough to the point where it's trending. Many people are worried about the fact that Natlin has characters that aren't darker skin tones. My personal take is I don't really care about representation in games. However, if you take inspiration from real cultures and ethnicities, you need to do them justice, otherwise it's disrespectful towards said people. In the end, the boycott is likely doomed to fail unless this keeps up for multiple weeks, or maybe even months. Hoyoverse is known not to budge on situations like this, so it's really hard to say whether or not we'll have an actual impact. But even if Hoyoverse doesn't end up changing anything, it's still worth it to try.